Okay, I'd like to tell you about my blessing. We'll call it the refrigerator blessing. So one of the reasons, there's a couple, but one of the reasons I ended up flying into Frankfurt, and then driving from Frankfurt to Prague, and then from Prague to Krakow, and then from Krakow to Lviv, and then from Lviv to Chernivtsi, that was a long trip, is in order to transport insulin, you need a refrigerator. And I needed to buy a refrigerator, but you can't just buy any refrigerator and put it into a car. You can buy the ones from Pep Boys for like $100 or $200, plug them into a cigarette lighter, and they should hold temperature. The problem is Ukrainian roads are horrible. Like, it's harder to drive on Ukrainian roads than it is to go off-roading. That's just the way that it is. Right now, some places are smooth. You'll see some places are just rough, or some places are just smooth and easy to drive on. And some places you don't know if you just drove into a pothole or you drove over a curb because it feels exactly the same, right? So having a refrigerator, right, that has a compressor getting rocked and jostled and moved and bounced, right, is going to make the compressor shut off. And if you got a couple $100, a couple $1,000 worth of insulin in a refrigerator, and it breaks, you're toast. And so is all the medication, and so is all the people that were counting on the medication, right? So most of you know I have traveled almost one whole circle around the world. I have driven from Siberia, right, all the way up to the edge of France. I unfortunately have not been to Spain and Portugal. I got stopped because of COVID. And then I've driven from Cadillac Island in Maine all the way to Seattle. I just haven't been to Alaska yet. So almost all the way around the world. And I've done this with this same refrigerator, right? So I know that it works. And it's an ARB is the name of the company, ARB refrigerator. And I drove into Prague because Google says, and I got on the ARB website, it's called ARB Europe, right? And it says it's a store locator and I can go to this place to get them. Perfect. Prague was actually on my trip. It's right on the highway from Frankfurt into Poland. So I drove there. I got there unfortunately late. I got there around 8, 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. So I'm sure that they were closed, but I tried anyway and they were closed. So I went and got a hotel for the night, the closest hotel I could get to the place because that's the only reason I was there. Right, I went to the hotel, slept there, got up the next morning, got there at their opening, went in, talked to the people, and saw like, I don't know, 150, 200 of what it is that I need right in front of me. And I asked them, like, can I buy one of those, please? And they're like, no. Why not? They're like, we're a wholesaler, not a retailer. You can't buy from us. We sell our stuff to stores. I'm like, okay. Is there a store close by? It's 150 kilometers back the other direction. I want to go back the other direction, right? And I'm a pragmatist. I'm like, listen, I've got money. You've got what it is I need. Why can't I buy it from you? And he says, because we don't sell to people. We have no way to do that. We have no card machine. We have no cash. We don't have anything like that. I'm like, okay, let's be creative. Can I call that store, buy it from them, and just pick it up from you? No. Come on, buddy, help me out. He goes, you have to talk to the director of sales. Okay, so he gives me his phone number. I called him a couple times. He didn't answer the phone. I start to drive away, a little bit upset that this is something I really need, but I will find another way to do it. And then I started to think that I'm being an idiot. And I stopped and I prayed. And I asked the Lord, I'm like, maybe I'm making a mistake, Lord. Is this not something you wanted? Maybe this is something that I wanted. Make sure that I'm have the right heart in what it is that I'm doing. And when I finished praying, he called me back, the sales manager. So I got a chance to talk to him, and he's like, yeah, come on in, we'll figure something out. I'm like, okay. So I drive back to the place, and this Asian-looking man comes out. Now, that's going to be important. Not that it matters what he looks like, but it's going to be important in a minute. He comes out, and we start talking in English, because this is Czech Republic, and I don't speak Czech. So we start speaking in English, and he's like, what is it you're trying to do? And I explain, right, hoping that maybe he'll want to help me make my life a little bit easier. He says, I think we can help you with this, but you're going to have to tell me what it is you want. I'll see if we have it. And then you're going to have to drive to the bank, pay the bank as though it was a PO, like a purchase order, right? And then you can come back here and we'll put it in your car and then you can take off. I'm like, okay, right? So he's figuring out if they have the list of the things that I want and if the boss of the joint is going to let us happen. And I'm talking to my friend about what's going on. He comes out, he goes, oh, you speak Russian? Like, yes, I'm going to Ukraine and I can speak Russian. So he starts speaking to me in Russian. And this is where it's kind of fun. A guy that I thought was Asian, speaking Czech and English, started to speak to me in Russian. And I had to stop him, like, I'm sorry, how many languages do you know? And why do you speak Russian so well? He goes, I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm not Chinese. Like, sorry about that. And I apologized to him for guessing that I knew what was going on. So we started talking back and forth in Russian. Awesome. And he goes, oh, you're going to help the people in Ukraine. You're getting this going. He goes, there's 2 guys here from Ukraine. So we go into the back and we start talking. One of the guys is from Mariupol. One of the guys is from Kherson, places I was just at. And I kind of told them what's going on in the places they're at. They look at him and they're like, we have to give him our discount. Can we please give him our discount? We'll do it through us. So I got what was about $3,200 worth of equipment for $1,500. So like almost 65% discount. That was amazing. So that is my blessing. They packed it in my car. I got it. I started driving, and now I'm here. Right. And actually, I got a much better version. I was going for the cheapest version that they had. Right. And the difference between the cheapest version and the best version was $80. So I tipped in the extra $80, right, and got the really good version. Now I'm here in Ukraine. I just got to put it into the new car. Right. So I just want to share my blessing with regards to the refrigerator. Thank you, God, for what it is you do. Thank you, people, for giving me the money to be able to buy a $1,500 refrigerator and the supplies to get the insulin into Ukraine. Thank you.